Hey, welcome to EUC Learn Along. Hello. What do we got going on today? All right, so we left off on app packages. So we did a lot of infrastructure pieces for our Citrix environment. And then we did a looky-loo at FlexApp 1 and Web Studio. Cool stuff. All right, so we're going to look at infrastructure again because I keep making these promises. I don't want to be a liar. All right, so as I have pulled up, I got 3 servers stood up, A, B, and C. We're going to learn our ABCs today. And we got a new OU, just called it clusters. And yes, we're going to look at clusters. All right, so I'll probably do a couple videos for this blog. We'll just do a simple cluster. And then we'll kind of branch that out to SQL. I am using SQL Express for my server. That does not allow for an availability group. So we'll create a temp SQL group as well, and then we won't use it because I have the data I need on that SQL server. But next time we build, I did clean up a lot of space. Oh, it won't be on this one. It'll be on this one. Got some space cleaned up so we can do some cool stuff. Removed a lot of the configuration management pieces that we didn't really need. There's a lab that we can set all that up pretty easily. But anyhow, let's get started. Cool stuff. All right, so I don't have any storage. So we're going to have to create some storage. So we'll use Microsoft for that. And then we'll start we'll do a file cluster. How about that? How about that? Probably need to get logged into all of these because don't want to waste any time. You know what I'm saying? All right, so there's a multiple ways you can do this. Again, I don't have an array, so we're going to use Microsoft. And I think with the newer stuff from Microsoft, you can do some clustering set up through Admin Center. I did look at that. I don't really want to install it. It's a little slow because of me, but we'll do it the old way, and eventually we'll look at it the new way. All right, so piece number 1. Let's get some storage. I forgot I turned all this up. Not up. Off. OFF. All right. All right, so an A and B will be our nodes, and server C will be our target, and then it will be our witness when it's time for that piece. All right, so let's get this set up. We're going to be skipping you. All right, so under file and storage, we need to set the server for our target. There we go. Yep. All right, should be a pretty quick install. I don't think a restart's needed, but if it is, bless you. All right, and for our server A and B, our nodes, we'll put the components for clustering and file shares on there. Dragging along. All right, so we got our file services on there. Let's add one more. We got our resource manager. Yep, get those tools installed. Neighbors perform shadow copies. Let's go ahead and add that. And then for our failover clustering, enable use. And we should be good. Yep. Install, and this should not take long either. Alright, drinking my great coffee right now. Peppermint. Alright, and our node server B, exact same setup. And I think that was it. Yep. Features, clustering. Oh, it didn't hit the install or restart. All right, so prior to setting this up, we did a video a while back for DFS, replication, namespaces. It worked, very agitated, and did not like it. Slow, getting frustrated, all that good stuff. So this will be a much simpler setup and probably what you should use for, again, we're EUC, we're probably doing stuff with profiles, profile data, stuff with VHDs, all kinds of cool stuff. All right, so you have finished. You are definitely done. All right. All right, so we need to create a virtual disk. All right. I'm not going to attach anything. We're just going to use what's available on here, and it's going to be small, just like the stuff I've configured on Citrix A and B. If you haven't seen that, then you're not following along. All right, so the name of the virtual disk, storage. Next, we got plenty of space on here, so we'll do 20 gigs fixed. All right, we need a SCSI target. And we need to add servers. All right, so we're going to do server A and B. We'll do it by IP. 35.251. Let's verify. 251 and 252. Oh, not 2. 151. 152. Well, is that right? 151. I gotta look at this. I might be having a brain fart or something. 151, 152. Okay. All right, 151. I gotta shut the door. It's gonna get loud. All right, so we got our server A and B. I don't know why I thought it was 252. Anyhows, we got our access servers. We got two. Nope. All right, I think we're good. And we can go back and edit this target anytime we want to. Create a new one, remove it. Just a basic setup. Just to get us going. All right, so it's initializing. Targets are down here. We can disable, remove. Again, add more initiator IDs in here. Enable chat. Good stuff. All right, so it's initialized. Nothing connected. All right, so I think A has finished. B has finished. All right, so let's connect them to our server. All right, so you got the initiator here. All right, it will kick off that service. Here, we'll do it a different way on here. Same thing, just different location. Look at that. Learning all kinds of stuff. Bam. All right, start the service. Server C. What IP address are you? You are 195. All right, so there's a couple ways to do this. We'll just do a quick connect. We could add in our target portals here and then search, but no need to. 168.35. What was it? Again, my memory is horrible. 195. All right, 195. Quick connect. Bam. It sees that target. So we're good on there. And B, we'll do the same thing. 192. Numlock is your friend. 35.195. Quick connect. Sees the disk. Done. 3260. If we add more in here, we can just go to refresh and see it. But we should see it connected. May need to refresh. Virtual disk status connected. So if we go here and we go to disk management, we should see our disk. Boom. All right, so there's our disk. Connected, all good. Green across the board. Awesome. All right, so now we need to create I don't know why I did that. Things running slow. Need to create a cluster. So there's a lot of ways to so-called slice this cheese. So I did have everything under server, but I did move it out to its own OU. You can set permissions there. Again, you'll see what I'm talking about, but we'll do it without setting any permissions prior, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so first thing we need to do is create a cluster. Yes, you can do this. Try in Windows Admin Center. I don't want to deal with that right now. All right, so we need our servers, A and B. Those will be our nodes. I just want to click this so bad. We can validate at any time. I don't want to do that right now because I'm going to have to pause this video and pick it up later here in a little bit. We'll give it a cluster name. How about cluster A? Let's see what IPs we got. All right, we'll do 153. 153. You can add available storage now, but we'll look at that a little bit later. We'll let this create the cluster, and then we'll go from there. I hear someone coming. All right, so it's looking in that OU. It's created our object, and it should do DNS, all that good stuff as well. So permissions aren't important now, but you will see in just a little bit. All right, so we got that set up. We got a object, refresh. There we go. Virtual network, name account. Where's our record? Refresh. Bam. Cool, cool, cool stuff. All right, so we have not added a disk, but now we have our nodes, servers A and B, node A and B, however you want to call it. We got our network. Let's add some storage. Again, I've been wanting to click on this back here for a while. All right, so if we go to add disk, oh, nothing suitable was found. All right, so one, we need to get this disk online. I hear cats meowing. All right, let's initialize it. And let's go ahead and format it. E's fine. Storage. All right, so we'll use MTFS. Might want to look at this for VHDs, but we're just setting up very basic stuff, get the concept across, and then dig into what you need for your environment. All right, so we got it set up. Now let's add disk. And it sees it. If you bring it online, you can see it. All right, so we have our disk. Excuse me. All right, server B is the owner. And we're going to toggle, I don't know what I said. Between the two. It's going really slow. Need to up the size of these VMs. Oh, show. So we got E, storage. No E. All right. B is the current owner. All right, if we look at disk management, no bang. B is the owner. That's a way to see. It tells you exactly in here. So, not sure why I'm showing you all that. All right, so if we wanted it to fail over, we can pause B. Oh, look at that. Bam. And we can resume. Do not fail back. All right, if we go back to disk, the owner is a cool stuff. All right. So there's not a whole lot we can do. We got the shared storage. We can fail over all these great things, but we enabled file services on here, so we need to create a role. All right. So if we go to configure role, I do not want to see you again. File server, simple use. We will get to scale out file server. We will give this a name. We'll just call it files. IP address. What's the next one in line? 154. 154. All right, we got the storage. All right, it's going back into that same OU. All right, finish. Pending. All right, and it failed. Great. All right, so what time is it? 12:29. All right, cluster service failed. Yep. All right, so we got access denied. So we know we got a permission issue. That's all to that one. Cluster name resource file to create. Access denied. All right. So we could have set permissions on the OU. But we're going to do it this way. All right, so it did not do anything with our domain services. Alright, so we need to fix that. We are going to create a new one. Call it files. If it's enabled, you can't use it. So we need to take it offline or disable the account. We need to oh man, I'm drawing a blank now. Not member of. Why am I drawing a blank? Probably want to check that. Security. Whew. I don't know why I was drawing a blank. Cluster. Ooh, well, it's a computer object. Alright, so we need to give access from our cluster to be able to modify this. So we'll give it full control. Alright, so it needs to be disabled, and you need to have access to the cluster, to the object. Oh man, I don't know why I was drawing a blank there. Probably all this coffee I'm drinking. Alright, so now let's create it again. Did we see it fail over? We did. Alright, simple. Use that same name. 154, was that the right IP? 154, correct. Next. Got something in my eye. And wow, look, this is up and going. Alright, so I have seen videos online. They don't really cover that. They just kind of set it up and miss some steps, but hey, we're learning along together. So we got that. If we refresh, it's enabled now. We are good to go. So we got our role. Looking good. Resources. Can we look at files? Alright, we can. Alright, so let's create a file share. Add file share. Oh man, I'm drinking this coffee way too fast. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're just going to do a quick setup right when this thing loads. Please load. Alright. SMB. Not going to create a custom path. So files is the first part of the UNC path. We'll just call it Citrix. So we can do access space enumeration. I'm not going to set it here, but more than likely you'll need to enable that. We'll enable CA. You may have issues with this, may need to disable that, but you can do that in Server Manager. We're not going to be doing any caching, so I guess we can look at that. You can set permissions here, or you can set it later. No big deal. All right, create, close. Oh, somebody's getting angry. We got our storage. We got that. Here are our shares. Now let's browse to it. Oh, okay. Cool stuff. So now we have a clustered setup that we can fail over easy. I think it's a little bit nicer, more resilient. Than DFS, but we could take it a step further. Here, if you go into Server Manager, if you need to make edits to your share, man, this thing's running slow. Oh, incomplete communication. Oh my goodness. This thing is going really slow. I'll figure it out later. Anyhow, we got a share. We're good there. Close. We can set this. Oh my goodness. It is really going slow. I forgot what I was doing. Let's remove. Yes. Remove the role. Let's add this to a shared volume. All right, so you see it on here. I'll have to sign in again. Nada. Gotta click on it. All right, so now it's a cluster shared volume. So if we go here, volume 1, here, there we go. We got one here. And where's our disk management? One here. All right, server B is the owner. So now it's shared across both nodes. go back to roles, figure role. I may have to do a couple things. Scale out file server. Finish. Alright, so now we have a role. We set it for scale out file server, mainly for the purpose that we need. Again, I'll probably should have read that. Use this option to provide storage for server applications or virtual machines that leave files open for extended period of times. Share query across nodes in the cluster for better throughput. This option supports SMB protocol and NFS. It does not support DFS replication or file server resource manager. So resource manager will not work with this. But no biggie. In the same way, got our shares, Citrix. Let's do the same thing. Again, everything looks very similar. Next, we'll call it Citrix. Not really sticking to my A and B, but no worries. I have the same settings. Next, create, close. Alright, things do look a little different since we are using a shared volume. There we go. We got Citrix 2. New. Text file. Bam. It's there. And cool stuff. Alright, so now we have high availability. We got 2 nodes. We can independently patch, do whatever to A and B. If A goes down, B's already right there with it. So if you're using VHDs for profiles, no worries. Or you can use that Citrix in-session profile container failover, which works as well. But either way, we're creating some cool stuff for available storage, and we can easily patch, maintain, do whatever to A and B. Cool stuff. Alright, so anyhow, I'm going to pause and we'll come back and we'll use the same 2 servers and we'll do the same thing with SQL. I will probably delete the SQL stuff and then just maintain the cluster setup for storage. But anyhow, hope you learned something.